everyone, and welcome back to the Adventure News Network broadcast. Today's broadcast is about Loftia, and we got a new developer log, and I'm really excited to talk about some of the stuff that's coming with it. So let's just get right into it, I guess. So this is just the Kickstarter page. They have all their devlogs on the Kickstarter page, which I have backed. So I love that, like a year ago. So we have another devlog going on, and they're talking. Do I want to talk about this now? Let's do some of the stuff that they've talked about in the devlog first, and then we'll come back to that bit more like spicy thing. So they have some updates to farming. So when we started developing Loftia, hydroponic farming was an innovative solar punk form of farming that we were super excited about. But there's just something so relaxing and satisfying seeing your soil plots bloom with ripe crops and then harvesting them. So the early stages of farming as a player within Loftia will still begin with traditional soil farming. So they've been working on their final batch of crops, and the way that you get to place your little soil plots. I think these are really cute. I'm really interested with the pick and pull style gameplay they have. Let me see. Can I restart the GIF? No, it's just gonna loop. But that looks really fun and interesting. You can walk on top of them as well. Farming animations like harvesting and planting are still in development and will most likely be undergoing further revision. So they've been working on what crops you can plant, as well as that little water harvester over there, and stuff like that. But I mean, I have to say, y'all, I feel like the art style for Lofty is really coming along. Really seriously. I haven't I've liked what they've done so far, but it seems like lately in the past couple months, the polish has really starting to kick in, and I love that. So they're still toggling with the speed and movement of all the planting actions, so they feel great. Some other features we've implemented include drip irrigators to make your watering more efficient, which is showcased in our last post on social media. I love the concept of drip irrigation. If you guys don't know this about me, I actually had an agriculture major in college. It was food animal. It was an animal science major, so I was more focused on like animals and stuff versus crops. But I did take several crop classes, and I was very interested in horticulture in college. And drip irrigation is a really cool thing. So instead of spraying plants from a distance and then having it flooding the ground and then having that where that water can evaporate, drip irrigation is where you basically run a hose with little holes poked into it right along the base of the plants, and it drips slowly into the soil. That way the plant only gets exactly what they need and the water doesn't evaporate as much. That doesn't sound like that big of a deal, but A, it can save a lot of money on the water that you're spending. And then also B, when you're worried about water wastage, and if you're in certain environments that are desert or humid, or I live in Georgia, it gets really hot here in the summer. And whenever you water plants, the water's gone out of the soil like that. So drip irrigation can really help with that kind of thing when you're in an environment where the water can evaporate too quick. So I think that's really cool that they're integrating drip irrigation and stuff into the stuff. I'm sure they'll also have their whole aquaponic and hydroponic planters as well, but at least for this early stage, I think it's cool that they're doing some of the drip irrigation stuff. So salvaging. So salvaging is going to play a key role in resource gathering in Loftia, allowing players to collect discarded items, materials, and objects scattered through the world for crafting, decorating, and donating. So there's going to be a few different mechanics for salvaging stuff. They're looking at hammering things so that you can collect stuff from the things that they're salvaging. So I think that's kind of fun. I kind of love how cutesy and chibi everything is. It's a very particular, it's almost toy-like. I would have to compare the animation a lot to, I know a game recently came out, but last year, but Fae Farm came out last year, and I feel like the animation looks similar to Fae Farm, but I like that. I think it's really cute. So we're working on adding more salvageable goods that you can find around the district of Loftia. So this old TV, which I think is really cool. I know that it's interesting. They're asking which design is your favorite. I like seeing the old computer screens. These look like computer monitors more than TVs. I guess they're technically TVs, but yeah, that one's a TV for sure. But honestly, I think there's almost something more satisfying about these flat screen TVs to be able to salvage those. So I think that's really cool. You can recycle tires for rubber, which is really cool. And then foraging for wild plants, mushrooms, and other natural resources is also possible once you've crafted a set of pruners in the game. And the new addition to our list of forageable resources is bamboo. Bamboo is often considered one of the most renewable materials and is the fastest growing woody plant. So I love they're talking about bamboo because I'm actually a huge nerd when it comes to bamboo. I think bamboo is one of the coolest plants like out there. So it can grow up to 3 feet in a single day and can absorb significantly more carbon dioxide while producing more oxygen than many other tree species. When properly cultivated and sustainably treated, bamboo offers a great alternative to plastic and other non-organic materials. So my thing about bamboo, I guess, so to understand why they're a carbon sink, this is just me sharing all my college stories, but when I was in college and I was taking horticulture classes, I remember when one of my professors looked at us and he said, when you look at a tree, where does the wood come from? Like, as the tree is growing, what nutrients make up the wood of a tree? And so all of us in class were like, well, the roots, right? They get nutrients from the ground and that's what builds the tree. And our professor was like, wrong. That's not true. And we were like, well, what are you talking about? And he was like, well, and I don't remember the exact number, but he's like 80% of the mass of a tree trunk is actually carbon from the air. So you know how plants take in carbon dioxide? They remove the carbon and then they spit oxygen back out, the 2 oxygens, and then the carbon from carbon dioxide. They keep the carbon and they spit out the oxygen. My professor was literally like, they take those carbons and they use it to build the tree trunks. And that's what trees are made out of, which first off blew my mind. That's crazy. Like, the trees are eating air. Basically, like, that's how they grow. They obviously get nutrients from the ground too, but like, if they only got nutrients from the ground, the soil would be depleted tomorrow. So they get the majority of their oxygen from the air, which is crazy. I just thought that was like a nuts little tidbit to share, I guess. But the fact that bamboo can grow up to 3 feet in a single day, that is crazy, because that's definitely, they're going to be absorbing a crazy amount of carbon. They'd have to, if they're going to like grow that much in a single day. It means they'd be sucking carbon out of the air. So yeah, I'm just a huge nerd. I think that bamboo is an incredible sustainable resource for a lot of things. And I think it should be used more and like building materials. And like they said, a substitute for plastics and stuff. In Loftia, you'll be able to harvest bamboo from various bamboo plants found around the gardens and parks of the city. So this is just different bamboo visual options and stuff. They're also going to have air trams, which is really cool. So a lot of people have asked us how island travel is going to work. Do we fly through the sky using a glider? Do we ride an airship? They're going to use air trams. So I forget what we call these in the US. I don't think we call them air trams. But I can't for the life of me. Sky rails? Sky lifts? I can't for the life of me remember, which is really weird because I used to take one a lot as a kid to go up to Stone Mountain. But they're basically going to use sky lifts. So this is like the air tram stations. They're inspired by airports. And then you'll take the air trams between the islands. And they're calling, the air trams themselves are called, I'm so sorry, I'm going to get this wrong. Me and French don't mix, but les oufs? Is that it? Which is the French word for egg? Les oufs? Is that it? If you know French at all, let me know in the comments if I'm saying that right. But les oufs, they look like little eggs. We love how cute they look. You'll be able to ride these little colored eggs and soar between sky islands. And each of the Sky Island stations will be themed after like the island that they're connecting to, if that makes sense. So I think that's super cool. So that's an early prototype of what the Sky Island station's gonna look like, which I think is just so cute. So they're just also working on some sound effects too. So that's just kind of the things that they're working on. They've got some community stuff going on, as they usually do. A big pet wall. And then of course, the bug of the month. Don't skip arm day, they said. Which is just the big chunky arm, which I love. Oh, that hand large, and then those arms are quite big as well. I feel that. I identify with that. Also, they just wanted to share this adorable rendition of Mudang. Mudang has pesto and wawa. I don't actually know how to pronounce that. Wawa as Loftian residents. I've been obsessed with Mudang. If you guys don't know anything about Mudang, she is a little baby pygmy hippo that has taken the internet by storm over the past few weeks. And Pesto is a giant emperor penguin baby who's way too big for his like age, and everyone thinks he's adorable. I don't know about Wawa. She must be a new baby panda or something. But I love this little art of them. So, I guess the last thing we'll talk about before the news is over, the sort of spicy thing, I guess a little bit, is that they said, there's just a small announcement. They'll be closing pre-orders of alpha keys on October 31st. So if you and your friends would like to purchase any additional keys, make sure to get your orders in soon. The reason I think this is spicy, so I'm an alpha key holder. I supported the Kickstarter like a year ago when it went off. The reason that's spicy to me is that they had originally said that they were aiming at having alpha testing start sometime this fall 2024. They did not say when. They said it could be a totally different time, you know, depending on like when things were ready. They obviously want to make sure the game's ready before they open it up to alpha testing and stuff. But I do have an alpha key. I am a key holder. So I'm starting to wonder if maybe they're closing alpha key orders because of them starting the testing soon. So I don't know if they will or not. And obviously I will not be able to share footage with you guys. I will not be able to share anything with you beyond what they tell me that I can share. Because obviously there's NDAs associated with that and stuff, but I'm just very excited to share Loftia with you guys. They said they were originally shooting for like a fall 2025 release, like official release, or at least to go into beta if they're going to do a beta. That was what I remember anyway. So I'm going to honor NDAs. I'm not going to do anything sketchy. But that's the Loftia news. So I'm very excited. I love the airtrams. I love the little eggs. I love the little egg ships. So that's really cute. So, but I think that's about everything for this Loftia update. Maybe alpha will be soon. Maybe alpha won't be soon. We won't know. I won't be able to tell you guys unless they say that I can tell you. But I think that's going to be about it. So for this broadcast. So if you would like to react to these with us live, please feel free to check out twitch.tv/Amy's_adventures or just be on this YouTube channel whenever I am streaming, which as of this recording is Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. You can check out my about pages on any of my platforms and I'll have the updated stream schedule there for you. But yeah, that's about it. So thank you everyone. I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your day and rest of your gay. #pride. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. And I will see you guys in the next broadcast. Bye, guys.